Hello there, everybody. Welcome to the EGFH National Season 3 for Overwatch. Today we have the final games of the season for you guys enjoying this on twitch.tv/EGF, or excuse me, official EGF. And with the Nationals, we're going to be deciding the best player throughout all of our regional tournaments. Today we'll be bringing you both the semifinals and the finals. And the first of which finals we'll be bringing you is Palmer Moose going up against the Notre Dame Green Knights. Now, before we can get into these games, there's a few people we need to shout out, some people that made all of this happen over the last few months. And those people are the Yukon School of Engineering, the Yukon Gaming Club, Mob Crush, and Playmakers Wanted. So thank you to all those wonderful people there for making sure that we could get to this final day of competition. So for those of you who are wondering who is speaking into my headphones right now, both left and right ears, my name is Kenny Beanie Small, and I'm joined here by my buddy Cool J. Cool J, want to introduce yourself?
Well, I think I need no introduction at this point, but we will be getting into the maps soon enough. The teams will once again be doing a map pick and ban, and in fact, it has already been done for us. So we're going to be starting off heading down under to Junkertown.
Oh,
Then
what
we're
an
going to go
accent.
going over to the Arabian paradise of Oasis. We're going to head over to the home of the Shimada clan at Hanamura. Gonna take a little trip in the African prairies of Numbani, and finally we're gonna finish off, if necessary, in the mountain temples of Nepal.
What a journey. Thank you for taking me on that trip. I appreciate it a lot, Cool J.
Well, that's really what I do. Honestly, I think I should start an airline service. Cool
Yeah,
J's cool. Take a trip with us through the
yeah.
Overwatch universe.
Feel the cool air as you travel. That could be your slogan.
That definitely would be an interesting thing to do, but it looks like the teams are starting to get some compositions set out here. What we have actually seen very different metas between the East and the West here. In the East, we've seen this kind of bunker comp, which is what you're seeing set up right now from the Green Knights. However, this kind of quasi-goat setup has been very common from the West, which is what the Moose are setting up with now. How are you expecting this one to play out here, Beanies?
Well, it's looking pretty interesting. I mean, we've seen bunker pop up every now and then, but it's becoming a little more commonplace in the meta. And so it looks like the Green Knights are just trying to bring out what they know is strong in this meta. And you see Spaghetti rocking that Orisa right now. While you just touched on it, the Moose are looking to get their horns a little dirty and get some, blood, sweat, and tears down on the battlefield. But first and foremost, it looks like we're going to have to give first blood over to the East and their beautiful bunker composition here.
Yeah, but this is just so difficult here. Notre Dame they have so much shield damage. I mean, Clone Recruit goes down there, you see all the assists on him. He basically didn't have shield the entire time. The Moose are now reeling as the Green Knights swarm around them and find more kills, 4 assists onto Mr. Gopher. Truly a team effort here. Strong focus fire, and the Green Knights gonna take that first fight very quickly. I think a re-engage will come in, but it depends on if Dr. Bright can get out here. He's gonna die very late.
Yeah, that's a nice stagger coming out by Spaghetti and the rest of the Green Knights. Now, it looked like the side of the Moose, the Moosey? The Moosei?
We've
Is that the
decided on
plural?
the Moose. Oh, we can do the Moosei. I like that, actually. Oh, Memory
man.
coming in.
A nice
Dragon
Dragon Strike. Yeah, look at that. Memory doing a fantastic job at continuing the stagger. And this stagger is just being such a crutch right now for the Moose, as they can't even get a recontest as a full 6 since that initial fight, Another hook comes in, another stagger, and the whole hog follows up by John Michael. Picks off another along with the help of SpongeBob on that Widowmaker, sending him back to Sandy's house, giving him a little time to breathe that fresh air in spawn. And Memory finishing off the kill feed right there. And it's looking here like Cool J that we're going to move through almost over 50% of point 2 without any contesting coming in from the Moose.
Yeah, it's been slowed down a little bit, but I mean, basically not at all. Halo just continuing to move. We are seeing Andy Pants swapping off of the Mei onto the Widow. This is something we've seen from him throughout the season. If he could get hot, they might be able to win a team fight here, but they do have sights on him in SpongeBob and Memory, of course. Oh no, Andy Pants going down. 2 quick kills, make it 3, and they're just falling over and over. The Green Knights are just doing everything better right now. And the Moose need to figure out some way to adjust.
Exactly. You said it very well there. They're just not figuring out what to do. The Moose are running into a brick wall and a sturdy Orisa. They just can't get past that fortified defense from the side of the Green Knights. And so as we move here on the point C, SpongeBob opens up with another pick. This is yet again the story of this first matchup. We have to stop and wonder, when are the Moose going to get a chance to recontest a 6? That's a serious question, because they have yet to get a single one with this pick-focused composition that the Green Knights are running, with the Hog Hook, with the Widowmaker Snipe, with the Hanzo Snipe. All of these characters are so good at just eliminating a single target. In Memory can't even get a kill with the Reaper. He gets dropped by Memory. That's not a close range matchup he should be losing right there.
Yeah, Gopher tried to teleport in there and take down the Mercy, but the you can't really do that against the Green Knights. The Green Knights are just too aware. They know what's going on. They took him out very quickly. He's going to teleport back to the high ground and maybe try and play a bit smarter this time. SpongeBob actually now onto the Torbjorn. They decided they didn't need that Widow pick potential anymore. Oh, Mr. Gopher able to find a kill on a Memory, but Pig Feet takes his life in the process. Memory going to get rezzed up, and it's like nothing even happened. And that's actually, I'm just realizing, I think that was the only kill that...
Yeah, I think so.
The only kill that the Moose got so far in this match.
We can count that turret drop too, but a nice shatter comes in from Clone. Unfortunately though, the Charp just brings him closer to the spawn room, and we see a Nanovisor get dropped by Dranny Pants, and he's trying to hold that left click and use his aimbotting mouse. Someone please check that hardware, but he gets sent back to spawn like his teammates, and this is the first back and forth fight we have seen yet today, as SpongeBob is cleaning up these kills. For a second there I thought Monk was joining in the fun, but just a little res as John Michael gets a kill too. SpongeBob just lays the lava down across everyone and lathers them up nicely as a beautifully run offense comes in from the Green Knights.
I like to call Torvald dropping the bucket. You know,
yeah,
like Lucio can drop the beat, Torv will drop the bucket. It's just, you know, instead of a harmonious beat of shields going onto your team, it's a bucket of flaming hot lava that will absolutely kill you.
I think that's a good analysis there.
And
Cool
you know,
I definitely think lava will do that.
It goes together too because Lucio has the floor is lava achievement. So I think it just makes, it's just a natural pairing.
There needs to be a new achievement now for that with the whole Torbjorn lava thing, you know? Like, what if Lucio boops an entire team into Torbjorn's ultimate? Can that be another one?
What if you did like a mix of, with the workshop coming out, you can do like a mix of, you know, the floor is lava and like high to make just the most fun, maybe agonizing game ever.
Oh, speaking of the workshop, have you seen the Lucio speed racing courses that they have? The wall riding practices?
I like
one
those.
I saw.
I like those, but
really
honestly,
interesting.
I like the Hammond ones better.
Oh, the Hammond ones are hard. Maybe just
they
harder
are
for
hard.
me.
Yeah.
But the Lucio one, there's a, what'd you say there was? Ooh, there's a Town of Salem one apparently. That sounds interesting. That sounds spoopy, to be honest with you.
Yeah, there's all kinds of crazy stuff going down in the workshop. You can see it all over Reddit, really, people posting their creations. But right now, the Green Knights are letting us know they're ready to get their defense on. See if they can put up a wall.
We're seeing the Green Knights come out in something everybody here should be familiar with if you've watched any Overwatch in the last year. They're bringing out that 3-3 sauce, and we see a bunker composition response coming in from the side of the Moose. I definitely like this adjustment they made, swapping over to what we saw the Green Knights running on their offense, except with the alteration of a McCree and a Mei, a Moira, and a Lucio. So everything around that bunker comp is different. Excuse me, even the D.Va's different. They just rock the Orisa. But unfortunately, they're not going to be holding that nearly as strong as the Green Knights were. They get forced off the cart in their first fight. And when you get forced off the cart as bunker in your first fight, that is not a good place you want to be in.
Yeah, there's so much sustain from this GOATS composition. They just can't quite cut through the noise. They did have some opportunities to separate some people off, but they weren't quite able to take advantage. Anipants gets popped at the worst possible moment. He's stuck in the spawn. I mean, he might just swap and swap back. It looks like he is going to try and build up that ult, wants to stay in that pilot form. Oh, but look at Dumbass here. He's a sneaky boy. Sitting by the spawn door, he's looking for
hunting wabbits. Oh, we see a D.Va bomb getting launched into the spawn to try and cause some mayhem. Nobody just fortified himself in the nick of time, but he falls in response. Mr. Gopher finds himself a nice little kill on the Dunless, and that might be the opening that his team needs. Unfortunately, he gets a little too antsy and tries to read the clock when he's just not in the right spot to do so. The high noon ends up with him paying for his own life, and we can see that clone is coming back, and he's looking to do some damage. He's on the Reinhardt, off the Orisa, but Dranny Pants loses his mech, and Night Knight goes Night Knight himself and gets sent to bed. And while the fight looked very good early on for the Moose, they couldn't stabilize from that point forward, and it just looks like the Knights are doing what they do best and just dominating.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the fun thing I see here is G and Michael just kind of doing whatever he wants on this Zenyatta. He's been taking 1v1s against Night Knight and Mr. Gopher.
Look at him playing him off on the side.
Oh, a 4-man shatter from Clone Recruit.
That was exactly what his team needed.
They demech memory. This might be the play here to get this payload rolling. Finally, the kill feed fills up with blue, but look, Jan Michael still doing work. Takes out Annie Pants. Annie Pants is able to get the frag back, but he's not going to have that mech. And SpongeBob coming up on this Zarya for the Green Knights. Now, they are going to be able to recontest, and with this Goat's composition, it's just going to be so difficult for them to break through without that diva.
Exactly, and look at the ultimates available for both teams. As we say that, the Shatter comes out early from Dunlop members, unfortunately not able to capitalize off of that. A rallying Brig gets charged off, but she's using rally. She won't get dropped. Come on now, we all know what's going to happen. Cloner gets dropped himself, and while SpongeBob gets stunned up, the rest of the Green Knights are trying to stabilize and use their defense as best they can, but a double Diva Bomb is dropped by Dranny Pants, and this fight swings back into the favor of the Moose. This is exactly what they need. Oh, Night Knight, he gets that May ultimate eaten. That is not what you wanted, Cool J.
Yeah, Memory is just a hungry boy today, finding that eat onto the Blizzard. That's a nice little frozen ice sundae there. Frozen ice. I'm in the frozen ice mood. I'm gonna take it. But we're just brawling on the point here, and you see the advantage of the Ghost. Look at that shatter from Dunless. They can sustain forever. They can fill up these ultimates. They can find a big play like that where Dunless takes out almost everyone. Clone Recruit gets a big shatter of his own, but it doesn't matter. His team isn't there to follow up. They're all still coming back from spawn. Only 15 seconds left. They don't have a lot of ults to work with. Memory throwing in the Diva Bomb there. Not really sure.
Zoning ultimate.
Yeah, zoning ultimate, I suppose. SpongeBob has the Graviton. He's gonna
zoning Graviton.
I think he tossed it up. Yeah, he tossed it up in the air. Annie Pants gets caught in it 5 seconds later. That's actually not a zoning Graviton. It's a 10 million IQ Graviton. And, you know, all these plays are working out really well for them. The Green Knights have a rally on the point. They're finding kill after kill here. Absolutely nothing going into favor of the Moose in that fight. And that should be the first map going in favor of the Notre Dame Green Knights.
Wow, that was domination, to say the least, right there by the Green Knights. There might have been a moment or two where they looked like they could give up first point, but we talked about it. You brought up the Goats composition they were running. They just seemed to be so practiced on it, and they knew how to play around it. And when they got to the end of point one, they just didn't falter. You know, they stood strong, they held out, and they did a really good job of minimizing the losses that they did have ever so occasionally.
Yeah, really able to play well together as a group and also play off of their strengths, you know, going on those flanks and really just trying to make plays happen. But we see some good sportsmanship coming out. Clone Recruit getting all the votes on the end of game.
That's what I like to see.
I guess you could call it a consolation.
It's, you know, it's like shaking hands online, you know, when you're in this environment, because in ComQ that doesn't. People usually, once a comp game ends, they'll leave and they'll dip out from that. But in these games, in these, you know, private match competitive games, that's like a shake on the hand, the shake of a hand. Excuse me.
Yeah, usually in those comp games, you get the GG easy, and that's about it.
Hey man, GG easy has some funny autofills. Okay.
GG no read. So we're going to be heading over to Oasis in just a few moments. We're waiting to see if the teams are ready to go. And what are you expecting to see on Oasis? What do you think the Moose need to do to kind of adjust and maybe take a match?
So I think what the Moose need to do ultimately is they should try and play around what they can do. They shouldn't be, because we know that the Green Knights, they're one of the two tournament favorites. They're very talented players. They have some stellar DPS, they have some stellar supports, they have stellar tanks, all around a fantastic team. But if you're the Moose, you need to be able to find a way to balance that and play to your strengths while not overreaching too much. So unless they have, a Widow one trick, a Hanzo one trick, something along those lines, they should stay away from heroes like that, I think. And they should try and play around capitalizing off of the mistakes, however so few, that the Green Knights make. So if they want to play something, along the lines of Maygoats, where Maygoats capitalizes on mistakes incredibly well. If one person steps out of line, that wall goes up. It's a 6v1, 6v2, and then you crush the fight from there, snowballing it onward, pun intended. Then,
Uh,
that could lead them to victory.
I do like the idea of a May Goats type thing, but they did try running the May. It seemed like they couldn't quite get the walls that they needed. I think you're on
Yep.
the right track, though. It seems like the Green Knights are playing incredibly aggressive, so maybe getting some Hog out, pulling some hooks. Hog is supreme at punishing positioning, but
Yep.
so far for the Moose, we're seeing something really fun. Actually, triple DPS on both sides right now. So how do you feel about that?
I'm definitely liking the Green Knights triple DPS more. The triple DPS coming out from the side of the Moose, it's they have the right idea. They have a Pharah, they have a soldier, they have some components that are correct. But when you have the Moira, the Reinhardt, and the Reaper in as the other half of your triple DPS composition, that's where it gets a little wonky. If you look at the DPS heroes coming in from the Green Knights, they have the Sombra, the Pharah, and the Soldier, which can all take separate off angles. And those off angles are how you swarm your opponent and, basically suffocate them out of doing anything while you have the ball at low. As I say that, John Michael takes off Durante Pants for the first kill. But when you have the ball that is a very low priority tank and doesn't need much pocketing or help and can get himself out of trouble, it makes life a whole lot easier for the squishy DPS to get the healing they need.
Yeah, we actually saw a res coming out there as I believe it was Night went down and got res back up. Memory gets res back up as well and pulls out a barrage on first fight. Finds both halves of the pharmacy. He is the superior far right. He wants them to know it here. And they are pushing to the spawn now. This is some real selfless type gameplay that we're seeing.
Close.
The hack onto the Reinhardt, Mr. Gopher, just nothing but an ult battery at that point. Memory just finding kill after kill, so much chunk damage from this Pharah. And now you have to find a way to get out of spawn here if you are the Moose.
Yeah, and we have to look at the ultimate economy. We already saw one ultimate used. Memory got that far barrage incredibly quickly, but John Michael is sitting here lying in wait with that somber EMP. If he can get that as the whole team of the Moose try and leave spawn, that's just another fight that's lost to them. And then they have the Visor to follow up. They're going to be coming up on the mines very shortly as well. And, it's just a snowball effect. The Moose need a pick. The Moose need something to get them through this next part.
But it does look like we're going to be needing a pause coming out from the side of the Moose, I believe. It seems like there's some kind of, I don't know, there's some kind of issues going on. We're not really sure what's happening. But we saw there for a few seconds they were halted in spawn. It says they're having a player issue.
Maybe you ever see, or actually we just talked about, the Pokemon movie. Maybe Mr. Mime showed up and just put that invisible wall around the spawn and just prevented them from leaving,
That is definitely a possibility. It could have been a Lickitung, just
Oh
right
my
up the
gosh.
side. And
That Lickitung scene, I was cringing, man. That was hard to watch. The gooey saliva just.
no, I think that was just really relatable. Like I think
Oh yeah,
that was
you've had someone come up to you on the train and just lick your face like that?
specifically a Lickitung. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, specifically a Lickitung. Wow, that's interesting. Was it a shiny Lickitung at least?
Oh, I don't think so. I think it was normal. Now I can't remember.
Yeah, I mean,
There were some singing trash cans in the background, so who knows if this happened.
oh, so we're like the Muppets now too?
Do the Muppets have singing trash cans?
Maybe they do. Oh, okay. So yeah, we just got news that we're gonna be cutting to a short break while we have to figure out some issues with the players' PCs. So in the meantime, guys, don't go anywhere. Don't touch that browser. You'll miss out on our beautiful voices for a little while. So please stick around and we'll be back very shortly. What's up, everybody? Welcome back here. We're bringing you a fantastic semifinal match between the Green Knights and the Moose. And as I say that and welcome everyone back, we have someone leaving the game, unfortunately. That caused the auto pause. But oh, inactivity. That's an unlucky one there. So we'll get him back in here. Hopefully he's not going to be inactive too long. But Cool J, let's talk about this for a quick second. We brought up the ultimates last time. We brought up how John Michael has that Somber EMP ready to go. What do you think is the answer if you're a Moose? What do you think you need to do leaving? Because honestly, leaving spawn in of itself seems like a dangerous mission.
I think right now they just need a lot of burst damage, and they need to play around the fact that they know that the Green Knights are playing so close. Like, they can pull out like a Widow and a Hanzo. They have like this Torbjorn for the turret, but I don't know what you really do. Gian Michael is just sitting right here, is waiting for him to walk out. There goes the EMP, and he just goes in.
Drop too. And SpongeBob gets taken down early on in the fight act. He only gets Night down, but Lib Memory will follow up and live strong and make sure that the rest of his team does not falter. They are just holding back the Moose now, and while the clock is ticking and the timer hits 90%, the Moose don't look like they're even going to leave their spawn here. They're just playing a nice game of Bloons tower defense, and it's going to be round one of Oasis going over to the Green Knights.
Yeah, Bloons tower defense, I think, is really the best way you can put it there. Maybe getting a Sombra to try and touch the point and force some pressure onto the Green Knights. I don't know. I really just think they're really struggling to play together. They're getting singled out. The Green Knights are excelling at singling them out and just taking them down one by one. They're going to come out with another triple DPS comp, this time with Memory on the Doomfist, and you know how much I love Fist, so we'll see how this one goes.
It's going to be a fun time. Yeah, this triple DPS, while also triple DPS, we have to acknowledge they have to play it a little differently. They don't have the long sight lines that they had with the Forest Soldier and even Sombra. They all have to be very close-knit, and they have to be playing a very dive-focused, dangerous game in the backline where it's a high-risk, high-reward, If they go in, they can get those kills, but Doomfist has a very likely possibility of missing a right-click, missing his charging fist, and next thing you know, it's a 5v6.
Yeah, but we're going to see he's going to go in here for the engagement, going to see if he can punch some heads. He's going right in onto the Ana here. Oh, Pigfeet just barely survives. He's forced to use his last cooldown to take him down. Look at this. Mr. Gopher's already found 2 kills for the side of the Moose here. Dr. Anyvance has found another one as well. The Green Knights are actually kind of falling apart.
Yeah, we just touched on this. They play the high-risk, high-reward composition, and they lose the fight. It was a very difficult fight to win, to be honest, but they got the Ana early on. They dropped Pigfeet, but Night on the May slowed down that Doomfist enough for the rest of his team to focus him down and eliminate him. And Mr. Gopher, we have nice stick from John Michael, but Mr. Gopher, we have to highlight, has been pulling out a lot of hooks so far, and there's another on the spaghetti. Mr. Gopher looks like he's doing everything that he can to keep his team in this matchup, and he's doing a fantastic job at that. Night falls, unfortunately, to SpongeBob, who picks up a 2-piece. Lib Memory picks up 2 more, and everybody on the side of the Green Knights are lining up the kill feed, joining in on the fun.
Yeah, this time they did it the right way. Yeah, I'm not sure if that was BM or if that was just a mistake, but
just cut the VOD.
Look to be setting up on the top right here, and they've really figured out the formula. They're jumping on those supports. Oh, Pigfeet getting a cheeky pick there onto SpongeBob. Memory with a bit of tactical crouching on his fallen brother right there. Memory gonna be looking for these entry punches, but they figured out the formula to win that last fight. They got the supports first. Pigfeet, Dr. Bright were the first to go down, and all the sustain, especially for Mr. Gopher on that hog, was gone.
You see Lib Memory diving in on the backline, trying to cause some mayhem, and he does just that. Takes out Pigfeet, goes up with a meat strike, and falls back in, but he gets poked. Somehow manages to stay alive. He's just in this one-on-one close combat inside that room with Mr. Gopher, but the rest of his team backs him up. And while that crazy engagement was happening in the backline, the rest of the Green Knights were just picking off everybody else around them. And with 50% on the points surpassed, the Green Knights, I think their W keys just broke for a sec there.
Yeah, they're going for the lemon leaves here off the side of the map.
The floor is lava.
I'm really not understanding this. Maybe this is a challenge. Memory going in. Let's see if he can make the plays here to make sure his team doesn't lose the point. He finds Dr. Anyvance. There goes Dr. Price. Oh, but the shatter from Clone Recruit maybe punishing the Hubris, maybe not though. SpongeBob with a visor, G and Michael, they found 2 more. The Blizzard comes out, but everyone's dead. The team kill gong rings out while half the members of the Green Knights are frozen. And they're going for the leap yet again. And I don't know.
Maybe they'll make it this time. Maybe they'll make it this time, you know. But if we look at the side of the Moose, 3 ultimates were used there for 0 return. While on the side of the Green Knights, they whipped out, what, 1, maybe 2 ultimates, and they got a huge return on their investment there. John Michael goes for a stick, unfortunately does not land it. The point will flip over to the Moose, and Memory gets in and eliminates Pigby again. This poor Anna is not getting to play any Overwatch right now. Memory going into the backline, taking out McCree. John Michael joining in the fun too. And this is just the story of the matchup. This is what we've expected to see. The Green Knights, while they may have had their W keys break a little bit, they do flip the point over. They do take out everybody on the Moose, and they're going to walk out of Oasis with a 2-0 series lead.
Yeah, I guess you could say going out in style. I mean, I don't know what kind of style it is, but they finished the map with yet another one of their limits. And I don't know about you, but I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like this.
Yeah, I mean, it was honestly just dominance to the T, the definition of it. It just looks like the Moose straight up are outskilled in this matchup. You know, even down to the compositions we saw on Oasis first point, City Center, I think it was. They ran the triple DPS like we saw the triple DPS come out. Ooh, a nice 12 stack on that card. I don't think I've seen that in a long time. But the triple DPS, we saw 2 different versions of it come out. And the Green Knights triple DPS is something you've seen a lot. You've seen that kind of composition run in the Overwatch League, in contenders. But from the side of the Moose, they looked like they had a puzzle, and they mixed up one puzzle with another, and they were trying to just use the separate pieces to create a picture, and it just didn't work out as well.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess the puzzle is probably the best way to put this here, as we will be heading over to the home of the Shimada clan on Hanamura. 2CP is well, it's famous in the Overwatch community. Well, I guess you could really say infamous in the Overwatch community.
Yeah, I would go with that, definitely.
A lot of discussion going on right now over
some highly intelligent and calm discussion going on.
The legitimacy of the existence of 2CP. You know, there's Reddit analysts, the armchair, coming at it.
Yeah, just be like me, be a lurker, you know?
We are still waiting for both teams to get ready here. So I think we'll just go ahead and throw it to a quick break, and we'll be right back at you with some more Overwatch.
Welcome back, everybody. We're here. We're on Hanamura. We're ready for Game 3 in this best of 5 semifinal. We're bringing you some action between the Green Knights, who are up 2-0 right now, going against the Moose, who have definitely a tall task ahead of them. They have Mount Vesuvius ahead of them to get back in the series and take it to a Game 5.
Yeah, but we are seeing something that we recommended to them earlier coming back. They're doing this sort of quasi-Magos, really. Not really a 3-3. It could...
A variation.
could potentially work out for them. The May could definitely work, but again, we need to see the mistakes they were making get cleaned up. They're not really peeling for their supports. Their supports are dying just basically with no resistance.
Exactly.
The Green Knights are doing way too much of what they want to be doing here.
And they're bringing out this triple DPS, which we saw work very well for them. Oh my gosh, remember the heck? A double kill firing in there.
Yeah, how do you recover from that? And you
don't.
You really don't. It's all over but the crying, as many would say. Dr. Anyman's looking for a kill, but he's just going to get cut down by a Spider Woman from that devilish Widowmaker. And we're going to be seeing an incredibly fast point A take. And Green Knights already looking to set up for point B.
They're going for a Vancouver Titans kind of record right here. And SpongeBob taking out Pig Feet, the first pick of the fight yet again. Pig Feet has had such a hard time in this best-of-5 matchup. He keeps getting eliminated so early on by the DPS from the Green Knights, who just show that they're such incredibly talented players here. And the Fire Barrage comes out. Memory picks up 2, looking to pick up a 3rd, but Dr. Bright manages to flay him away and preserve his life. Now, Memory actually trying to duel this May, and somehow Team Pants lives, unfortunately does get dropped eventually, and this is just a massacre right now, Cool J.
Yeah, I mean, I think another thing we can really say here is the passivity coming out from the side of the Moose. You know, oftentimes, you mentioned the Titans earlier. Oftentimes when you see a member of the team go down, the team gets more aggressive. They try and make up for that lost member. But we saw them just there. They lost, I believe it was Dr. Bright. No. They lost Night early on in that fight for the second point to the shot from SpongeBob, and they tried to turtle themselves on the point. And I think each individual player was able to live longer in total, but their impact was much lesser. They couldn't really find the kills while they were turtled up like that, and it really just made them a target for a fat, juicy target, I might add, for Gianmichael Sombra and Memories Farah just raining down on them.
Yeah, and Memories Farah has been such a menace for the entirety of the Moose so far. We saw it on Oasis. We're seeing it again here on Hanamura. Memory is just making sure that the rest of the Moose remember his name and do not forget what he did to them. He's just getting double kills, triple kills just so easily. Like on the first point of Hanamura right there, he fires 2 rockets into the mini health pack room on the right or left, depending where you're looking at it from. And he just gets a double kill. He gets both main sources of healing down from the Moose. And then when the Ana's gone, there is literally 0 people who can contest the Farah in the sky. I mean, you have the May right clicks, but that's not reliable when you're playing against a Farah like Memories. And it just snowballed. They had the ultimate economy, the Green Knights. They had the players positioning properly, and that's why they walked out with a 6.5-minute time bank at the end of their attack round.
You know, I really want to say it does look rough for the side of the Moose, but one thing we should say is this is the first year we've had the West region for Overwatch, or maybe, yeah, I think it's the first year, maybe the second semester. We've had the East region, of course, for a long time now, for those of you who have been sticking with us, and we see already a lot of talent being cultivated out of there, and I'm sure we'll see these Western teams starting to build up more talent as we go towards the future years of EGFH. But unfortunately, for right now, the Moose, unless something changes, they're really just struggling. We see Clover Crew just taking a nice little ride on the point there. Swinging around.
This is just looking like
with a 3K, just casually on this Widow, killing half the enemy team.
It looked like right there that the Moose took a ticket at the deli line, and they were just following the order of their tickets. You know, they just went in one after another, getting served up like a cold slab of turkey to SpongeBob's Widowmaker. And I mean, they have to do something here. They have to pull out some kind of cheesy strat. Maybe, honestly, why not just pull out a Symmetra and a Bastion and go for some teleporting Chengdu Hunters kind of strat, you know? Do what you need to. Try and preserve yourself, because right now it's not looking very good for them. SpongeBob and Memory light up the kill feed right now, but John Michael decides to take that over. His turret getting a 3-piece, making sure 4-piece. Oh my gosh. Look at that turret placement. Look at that. That metal boy is just sitting there looking left and right and making sure everyone fears his ghastly gaze.
Yes, so we'll be seeing now, they're coming in for another engagement, this time taking an opposite angle. Clone Ragu, look, he's taking so much damage. He's only got 150 HP before he even gets to the choke. He is able to make it, but the rest of his team...
Ooh, the floor is lava, Cool J.
Yeah, the floor is indeed lava. G and Michael gonna take out Pig Feet there. And this is just the passivity showing its face again. It is rough to try and run into this Green Knight's defense over and over, but you can't just sit there. You gotta try and make something happen, as Mr. Gopher does just that, going in, takes down Dunless, but Dunless getting rezzed right back up.
And that's the power of this bunker composition we're seeing. This is why it's so meta to run this. Because Torbjorn's power has been discovered recently. I mean, if you ask Clockwork Vendetta's engineer, it's been Torbjorn all the time, always. But this bunker composition is so strong, it's so hard to break through this defense. And when the DPS players of SpongeBob and Memory are just creating picks and, you know, not even just eliminating targets right out, but dropping them low for the rest of the team to follow up on. And the supports are staying so safe. It's just, how do you answer this? How do you deal with this if you're the Moose? And obviously they don't know how to get past this. And when you have, look at that. You have these ultimates available. And look at the difference in the ultimate economy from both these teams. Look at how different they are. Farah brings out the barrage just because he can. Spaghetti gets the kill right there, though, but we only have 45 seconds left, and it's going to take a miracle and a half for the Moose to get themselves on the point.
Well, you know, I'm actually really glad you mentioned ult economy, because one of the reasons the ult economy is so weird, and I think another reason that they're struggling is the Moose are just... G and Michael goes a bit too aggressive there, gets taken down, but finds 3 of his kills of his own, so it doesn't really matter too much. But one thing we're seeing, as Monk goes down, that's 2 kills now for the Moose. But Advance, he used his jump, but he's still in full view of SpongeBob on the Widowmaker. 2 people go down right there. Ults are very important in Overwatch, and this constant swapping that we see from the Moose to try and get anything done means that they're not building up those ultimates, they're not able to really use them. And the Green Knights going to take yet another dominating victory and going to finish off the semifinals with a 3-0 map score against the Palmer High Moose.
Yep, and we'll be seeing the Notre Dame Green Knights in the finals, going up against one of 2 potential teams. They'll either be facing off against the Fairfield Ludlow High School team, or they'll be going up against the Colony High School Knights. So it's going to be an interesting matchup. I think all of us are assuming that Ludlow High are going to come out on top. They were incredibly dominant in their regular season. They were incredibly dominant in their playoffs. So, you know, it's looking like it's going to be an East versus East finals matchup, you know?
Yeah, and that is somewhat expected at this point in time. As I mentioned earlier, the East is a little bit more advanced than the West is at this point in time. So I think that is really what we would be expecting to.
And so, before we can bring you that matchup, before we can get into the fun of the finals, I believe we're going to take ourselves to a short break. But do not go anywhere. Don't touch that browser. I'll miss you if you do. So we'll see you very shortly here on the official EGF channel. Don't go anywhere, guys. What's up, gamers? We're back here. We're ready for some finals action. It's time for all the marbles. It's time for all the eggs in the egg basket. It's time for all that goody stuff to head your way. We're here at the finals at last. And we're going to be seeing two incredibly skilled teams going up against each other. They've met before. They may know each other pretty well, but we're going to be seeing the Ludlow High School Falcons taking on the Notre Dame Green Knights. Now, for those of you who are just joining us, we're bringing you some action after we just saw the Green Knights take a dominating 3-0 victory up against the PHS Moose from Palmer. But we're going to be getting into the game right now. But before we head there, we want to make sure that we can shout out our lovely sponsors from the UConn School of Engineering, the UConn Gaming Club, Mob Crush, and Playmakers Wanted. All these people made sure that we could get to this point today, and the entire season that we've gone through culminates now, and it would not have happened without those four. So thank you to everyone a part of those organizations, and thank you to everyone here at EGF for making this happen. I'm Beanies. I'm joined here with my buddy Cool J. Cool J, talk to me. What do you think you just saw, and how do you think it's going to affect what we're seeing right now?
Well, I'll tell you what we just saw. We just saw the Notre Dame have some of the best warm-up matches you can possibly ask for. They've got momentum, they've got everything on their side, and I think they're really ready to go. They did not do very well the last time they faced up against the Falcons, but during the regular season, they did take the Falcons to 5 maps, and they were pretty much the only team in the East region to give the Falcons any sort of trouble at all. So this will definitely be an exciting matchup, in my opinion. We did do a map ban. This time around, we saw a similar but a few slight changes. I'll run through it real quick for you.
Take us on that journey, baby.
We're going to be starting on the Mediterranean Peninsula of Gibraltar, returning to the Arabian paradise of Oasis, heading over to the Russian robot manufacturer at Volskaya Industries, going to take a stroll through the African prairies of Numbani, and finishing off, if necessary, in the mountain temples of Nepal.
Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Made me feel like I was really on Cool J Airline.
Cool J Airlines, indeed. And we're seeing both sides with a dive composition here. What is this? Is this 2017?
I don't know, but I'm enjoying what I'm seeing here, baby. We got 2-2-2 across the board right now, but John Michael's going to be the first one to fall. As I say that, though, Snark loses his mech as well, and SpongeBob creates an opening pick for the offense, follows it up with a second on the Civac, and now it looks like the side of the Green Knights are going to have an easy run-through on the first half of Point A on Watch Point Gibraltar.
Yeah, and see, this is what I'm talking about. I really feel like the Green Knights are going to be coming in hot as Memory finds 2 with that Dragon Strike, and that's going to ensure a first point capture here. We see SpongeBob already ready to go. Michael and Snark dueling to see who can lose their mech first. Didn't really seem to matter there, as the plays just came through for the side of the Green Knights.
Cool J, I feel like we're still in the semifinals right now with how the Green Knights are playing. They're just getting what they want, taking the space they want, and oh man, Caster Curse, sorry about that, Dunless. The Green Knights lose their first member here, and it might just snowball one after another. SpongeBob getting pressured in the backline. Zoom takes out Memory, and now the Falcons are reaffirming all of our thoughts, making sure that we know that that first point was their warm-up for this matchup, and they're ready to take it to the Green Knights.
And you know, they're punishing a lot of the sloppy stuff that I saw in their in the Green Knights match against the Moose earlier. We see them, you know, having trouble really just staying together. We saw Dunless dying because he was by himself on top of the shuttle there. Wasn't really able to create any kind of space. Didn't really accomplish much of anything. However, SpongeBob now has the walls. They're ready for an engagement, maybe, but like, now they're just taking so much time. They've lost so much time off the time bank just trying to engage here. The infrasight is gone. Stevek in the backline finds one. Snark is with him. They're fighting together and finding so many kills on this backline. These snipers are just so vulnerable.
Exactly, and Stevek has his way back there. He just uses that primal rage, and he's just an impossible target to take down. There wasn't enough target focus. There's no Discord orb from a Zenyatta, so you need to really land your shots and chunk down that monkey. And if he's not in an enclosed space, or if your team isn't swarming him and focusing him down entirely, he's going to have his way. The Dragon Strike comes out, and we got a nice little animation blast coming here as Dragon Strike crisscross applesauce Snark drops a little low, but then his buddy Stivek jumps in to cause some AM and make sure they attack him instead. And a Diva Bomb, a Dragon Blade, and a Beat are all dropped at the same time as Goldfish is the first one to come out on top of that exchange. Gets another kill, Stivek joins in the fun, and while John Michael may have taken out Glacier, that's just going to be one death for the Falcons as they get their way again going against the Green Knights here.
And you know, another thing I have to say is just the respect that Ludlow is playing against the Green Knights with. Yes, they are being incredibly dominating here, but they are not playing overconfident. There were chances for them to go deeper there, and they're not taking them because they know that these guys are incredibly talented. If they give the Green Knights the chance, they will punish them. So they're just not going to give them the chance. They're playing incredibly smart. They're playing with the fundamentals, and now this halt hook combo from the Green Knights is looking to try and punish them, but they're not giving them anything to punish.
Oh man, Glacier avoids the one-shot potential there, but Kiru cannot. SpongeBob drops him with a high noon, and John Michael with a hook pull of himself drops 2 members right now. That whole hog is looking like a snack, taking out multiple members. And while Snark is trying to stall out the point, we finally get to see... Oh, spoke a little too soon. No, I didn't. We get to see, finally, these boys from the Green Knights moving through point B here on Watchpoint Gibraltar.
Yeah, but Zoom did so much damage in that fight. He was able to build up a Dragon Strike. They also have Goldfish's Dragon Blade, so we're going to see another one of these traditional dances that I love to talk about in Overwatch. A huge hold hook, though. Gian Michael able to take down Stevek very early in that fight. The Dragon Strike does come down. Glacier is able to get a boop kill on a memory. But look at this, Gian Michael going off. He gets a hook onto Goldfish there. The res on a memory, but Snark with a 2-man Diva Bomb. He's not going to let this fight end without him having a say on it. But Gian Michael is still alive, and we know what that means. The Dragon Blade coming out from Goldfish, but Spaghetti's beat gets canceled, and I think that's going to be it. The defense is going to be able to stabilize as Gian Michael is now all by himself.
That Diva Bomb was so incredibly clutch. The fact that it got those 2 picks during the chaos of the fight, it caused the Green Knights to pause and reconsider their options. And that kind of stagger gave enough time for Goldfish to come back with his Dragon Blade. He died with that Dragon Blade early on in the fight to a hook from Jan Michael, but because he came back so quickly and the spawn was so close to the point, he got to use the Dragon Blade, he got to clean up the kills, and we got to see the Falcons hold strong here on point B with only a minute 15 left for the Green Knights to take control.
Yeah, and oh my goodness, Zoom just finding kill after kill here on this Hanzo. Takes down Memory with a nice headshot from his E there. SpongeBob is getting bounced and batted around, but Stevek gonna get focused there by Gian Michael's whole hog. Gian Michael then able to turn and take down Snark's mech. That could be huge here as they're pushing forward onto this payload. No more defense matrix. Lots of peel gone as well, and against this halt hook combo could be very difficult. The sound barrier is gonna go down, try to keep everybody nice and healthy. It's gonna accomplish just that. The Hulk comes out, but no hook able to land. Here's the supercharger. Everybody charged up, looking to do some damage. But there we go. Ogiro goes down. The Dragon Strike yet again. That's 2 in this fight.
Oh,
Snark
man.
another 2-man bomb.
Snark is doing so much work with those bombs. Monks tries to get in there and get the res on the Jan Michael and pulls it off, paying for it with their life. And that looks like it's just enough, actually. Even though Snark came out with another clutch Diva Bomb, this might be the end of their defense here on point B. SpongeBob picks off Zoom, and the B comes in to secure this point. But Stevek, is not down and out. He uses the Primal Rage. He tries to bounce everyone around, and the Dragon Blade comes out. Goldfish has to work wonders right now, but the whole hog is so beautifully placed. It eliminates any threat that Goldfish can have using that Dragon Blade, and Monk gets the res back on the SpongeBob. This is just a stall, if you can call it that, really. It's just the back and forth action right now happening, and Liv gets a beautiful stick right there in the Goldfish. May not have been necessary, but dang, it sure looked pretty.
Yeah, we see Zoom and Stevek resetting there. Nobody else going to get short spawned. And honestly, it looked like they might have a chance there because they were able to use Stevek's Primal Rage to... a hook out of spawn. Not quite able to finish off the kill, but Gian Michael really looking for the plays this time around. Oh, a hook on the Shark's mech. Somehow, just barely not able to get away. SpongeBob now, no more Diva D-Matrix, able to take down Glacier with that Deadeye, and Memory is looking for more blood. Zoom is so low. Can he take it down?
Nice, he
Zoom gonna
does
fall.
take down Zoom. And Jan Michael is doing so much with this Roadhog. Again, he hooks Snark. I think Jan Michael is only focused down Snark for the last minute and a half to 2 minutes, and that's been causing so much drama for the side of the Falcons. They just can't get that DM when they need it. But Goldfish is doing his best to pick up the pieces and secure this defense for his team. There's only 25 seconds left, so it's either do or die right now for the Green Knights. They just have to secure this last bit of the point, but they're not dropping. They're not moving the cart, and so they need to get these kills, or they're just going to end up stalling it out here. The Diva Bomb is used, and Memory takes out the Mercy. SpongeBob follows up with a kill on the Zoom, and this looks like it's finally going in the favor of the Green Knights. Dunless bringing out that Doomfist, picking off Glacier. Again, Snark loses his mech. Again, this poor Diva player has just not been able to have any fun for the last 2 minutes. It's just constant demeching, remeching, and non-stop deaths. And finally, the Green Knights push through and finish off Gibraltar, albeit entering overtime to do so. But honestly, as long as you finish off the map, that's what matters.
Yeah, definitely getting that finish means even if they allow the Falcons to push to the end, they're still going to have some time of their own to try and push back. And honestly, there's just so much back and forth gameplay here. I think this is exactly the match we were hoping it to be. At least it looks like it so far. We'll have to see how the Falcons attack run goes. But the Green Knights definitely taking some of their momentum forward into this match.
Exactly. And I mean, the Green Knights, I can't stress enough, Jan Michael has been causing so much mayhem for the back line and the front line, honestly, of the Falcons. Jan Michael's hooks have been demeching Snark on that Diva constantly. And when you lose that DM and you're stuck with the baby Diva, heroes like McCree are just able to pop off, and they have no worries about any of their shots being eliminated by the DM. And you saw it right there on third point. Snark got demeched, the High Noon came in, and it opened up with a pick, and it just snowballed from there.
Yeah, so it looks like we're going to be seeing them coming out with another, they really like this Versa Hog composition. They played a dive to start their attack last time around, but this time they're going to be sticking with this bunker the whole time. Or at least they're going to be sticking with it at the start. The Falcons, meanwhile, with a Sombra and Nano Genshi dive. This is really common against bunker. They may be expected to bunker because the EMP Nano Blade just completely shuts it down. Start getting hacked! I really think that the Green Knights are just trying to punish Snark here. I'm sorry. I think...
No worries, man. The dive comes in, gets hacked again, just a soft dive, getting a little squishy there, making sure that he just softens. But the point I was trying to make is that with the bunker composition, Jan Michael's popping off. You want to keep that Roadhog in play. You want to make sure you can still be getting those hooks and eliminating carries. We see Memory taking out Stivek early on, but he gets res right away. And then on the side of the Green Knights, they're running with this, the side of the Falcons, they're running EMP Dragon Blade combo. And when you have that kind of ultimate economy and that ultimate usage available to you, you can destroy the bunker composition. The only downside, though, is that you have to get those ultimates. And so Goldfish is getting very close to that Dragon Blade. Zoom, on the other hand, is only at 50% to his EMP, and the EMP is one of the fastest charging ultimates in this game. So you need to have that combination available to you and ready if you want to destroy the bunker composition like they're set up to do.
Yeah, we're seeing, I mean, even Snark, who lost his mech a few times, already has the Diva Bomb Zoom, the only one not really even close to that EMP charge. And I really think it's just his positioning. He was trying to play safe on the high ground, trying to avoid getting punished. Oh, the EMP coming out finds 3 in favor of the Green Knights, but the Diva Bomb fighting back Snark, able to get a kill onto Dunless. Jan Michael trying to do what he can. The hack does get him out, and there's an EMP 5-man caught. Dunless getting res, is able to survive it, but Goldfish with the Nano Blade. This is the combo I was talking about. The EMP Blade going to do so much work here, and that is going to break this first point for the Falcons.
So that's exactly what we were saying. They needed the EMP. So, because the composition that we're seeing the Falcons run is based around getting Q, hitting Q, and then recharging near Q. They're doing a good job of staggering kills and making sure they can get this point moved as far as they can, but we have to look out for Jan Michael. This guy is a monster on the Roadhog. He has the whole hog ready and available. He has that hook, which he just drops on Stabek and uses the whole hog. Unfortunately, cannot finish off the kill and actually gets hacked during his whole hog. That's an unfortunate series of events for that Lebanese snicket right there. And another hook comes out, but this time it will amount to a kill. And that's exactly what the defense needs to open this up and get their footing back on point B of Watch Point Gibraltar.
Yeah, I really gotta say though, SpongeBob is just outplaying Zoom here on these Sombras. Zoom was able to find a little bit more damage in that fight, but SpongeBob still able to get to EMP first yet again. And with Gian Michael wreaking havoc on the tank line of the Falcons, it's gonna be very difficult for them to get anything going until they can get Zoom.
I'm taking care of you.
But if we take a look, they have the Dragon Blade, they have the EMP, and they're very close to getting the bomb. If you use all three of these ultimates in succession, it should be 100% success rate team fight win. The EMP eliminates all the abilities. The Diva Bomb will disperse the enemy and cause them to just run off and find cover. And that's when the Genji can strike. That's when he's the strongest, because when they're split up, they can't heal for each other. But it's not going to matter if he just gets hooked in and dropped. A beautiful hook by Gian Michael eliminates the threat of that. And I think at this point, we just need the Falcons to back up and cut their losses. Cure gets dropped as well, and now that's exactly what they're doing. They know that they lost their key members, and they're just trying to eliminate any further losses during this fight, any more ultimate charge given away.
I mean, the thing is, when they saw that Goldfish went down, they actually went for an eco push. Gian Michael doing it again! He avoids EMP, he finds Stark, he's just doing it all by himself right now. The Green Knights getting so much work out of him, but I gotta say, Okiru, his team right now is kind of wasting what has been an amazing performance from him. He's been fighting 3-man anti-nades, fighting amazing nano boost assists, sleep darts all over the place, and this time they're going to follow up on it. Look at those kills, look at Goldfish, every single one of his kills, every single one of the kills in the kill feed right now with an Ana assist on it. You know, we're just seeing so much work from him, Monk, going on the Battle Mercy, it seems. And they are going to get an engage here. They do have the supercharger. I think that's going to be the key to this fight, as well as the EMP from SpongeBob, which finds 5. Glacier, the only one not caught in it. This payload is static right now.
And that EMP is exactly what the Green Knights needed to move choke, but Goldfish has other, uses that Dragon Blade, picks up 2, and Jan Michael is just going to send back to spawn. And now we are finally here. Point C on Watch Point Gibraltar. This is where the Green Knights can hold strong and give themselves an early lead in the series. Or we can see the Falcons come out and take an even faster capture time and give themselves even more time in the time bank for the next round.
Yeah, the good news there is that all they used in that last fight was the EMP. The bad news is that the other side has many ultimates to use. LMB Memory gets the pick off on the Goldfish on the back of that Dragon Strike. Zoom is in the back here. It seems like they haven't even realized he's there. He is invisible, to be fair. SpongeBob going to find a late kill on the Snark, but I think Zoom in prime position to get a huge EMP off here. We'll see how it goes. Dunless going to swap off the Orisa now onto the Reinhardt, looking to take advantage of this high ground positioning and these corners here to, I guess, just get some big shatters off against this dive composition.
Yeah, but I need to say, I think the Green Knights used way too many. Switching is okay. They used a lot of ultimates in that fight, and Snark is opening up with a Diva Bomb. The EMP is timing!
Yes, the EMP timed perfectly. Snark able to get 3 kills there. You see Gian Michael gets hacked up and killed as well. And that's exactly the team fight the Falcons were looking for. And now it is do or die time for the Green Knights, who have full swap to goats, except for Gian Michael staying on that hog for the whole hog specifically, but they need to get out of spawn first. And guess what? Okiru has the nano. Goldfish is close to the blade. That's going to be the key to this fight. The nano goes onto him. He's going to build up the blade anytime now. He's got it. He's blown it out. He's going for it. The play. Monk goes down. SpongeBob gets low. There he goes as well. And that is it. That's going to be the end of the Falcons. Wow. Pushing it all the way through. And we're going to see more points here on Watch Point Gibraltar.
That EMP Diva Bomb combo was executed so beautifully. It felt like they purposely waited till the very last second to get that done. Because when the EMP came in, it looked like the side of the Green Knights were ready to hide and protect themselves behind the shielding that they had. But the EMP came in right as the bomb exploded, causing a lot of confusion, 3 deaths to happen, and then it just snowballed from that point onward. And we saw the Falcons assert their dominance essentially. And while they did both finish out the map here, the Falcons finished it out much quicker and in a much more dominating fashion than we saw the Green Knights finish it out.
Yeah, honestly, I think if I'm the Green Knights, I really would have just swapped to Goats immediately on that 3rd point. It seems like the Orisa Hog combination just doesn't work there. They were staying on it for the ultimates, but the ultimates weren't even that strong anyways. And it was really clear that they wanted to make that swap on 3rd point. And I think it was what they had planned on doing in their practice. And what they had practiced for the first 2 points was really good. They were able to take a lot of time on the clock, off the clock. Even with getting pushed hard on the 3rd point, they're still only about a minute behind in time bank, which on a pure payload like this isn't that big of a difference. But, you know, maybe swapping to Goats would have made enough of a difference for them to just take even more time off and maybe even win this map already.
Yeah, and I think we need to highlight a big difference we saw there was Jan Michael wasn't getting the same hooks on the defense he was getting on the offense. Schnark was getting a lot more value from Diva Mech. His DM was available a lot more often, but SpongeBob winning out on the 1v1 against Goldfish, taking him out early, creating a 5v6 for the rest of his team here, and the Green Knights are looking very strong to progress through point A on Watch Point Gibraltar as the cart moves underneath and gives the rest of their team. Oh, Glacier almost getting eliminated right there. Manages to stick around very strong. But as I was saying, the rest of the team here have to minimize their losses, and Schnark gets demeched, unfortunately. And at this point, it just looks like the Falcons are going in one after another, feeding ultimate charge to the Green Knights.
Yeah, I want to point out a really smart play there. After getting that pickoff onto Goldfish, SpongeBob actually went and spawn canceled, which forced the entire defense back, but Ludlow turning this around off the back of the Nano Boost. Somehow Sebek able to build up his primal rage thanks to it, and it looks like this payload's actually going to stop. How did they do?
It's Okiru. We said it earlier. Let's say it again. Okiru's Ana is carrying his team right now. It was so incredibly clutch. He got the nano boost down. He saved his main tank. And then the monkey cleave just dominated against the backline of the Green Knights. And they couldn't do anything. And they even popped their own Dragon Blade. But he got eliminated almost instantly when dashing in. And that just opened up the floodgates for the rest of the Falcons, really, to assert their dominance. I've said this before, I've said it multiple times, but that's exactly what they're doing here.
Yeah, I really think it's just the Falcons are saying, you know what? You know, you had a strong performance the first time around, but we're going to show everybody it's a fluke. We came to play today. We know we're the favorites. We're going to play like it. And they really took the fight to him there. And now they've got a very favorable time bank. They're going to be playing that EMP Nanoblade combo again. And this could get ugly fast for the side of the Green Knights because they're going to be running this Bastion Batiste combo, and that's exactly what this EMP Nanoblade is designed to counter.
Yeah, so there's 2 minutes and 14 seconds, and as you just said, the EMP Blade combo is made to counter bunker composition. But they need to get those ultimates online, and they need to use them properly to do so. If the Green Knights are using the strategy we're seeing right here, and they can hold strong somehow, they're going to make it very difficult for the Falcons to charge up those ultimates. But if you ask me, I'm not too sure about how this holding position is going to go. It seems very cheesy, but it seems like it's going to be short-lived against the Falcons.
This is actually something we've seen very commonly in EGFH, holding inside of this health pack station here at the bottom of what many people used to call the car wash here on Gibraltar. And, you know, I agree with you. I do think it's a bit cheesy, but it does seem to be very effective at stalling out the payload. And like you mentioned, since they're able to be bunkered up here, the ultimates are very slow charging. We're actually going to see Zoom swapping onto a Junkrat, and I think that's a very smart pick. He's recognizing he's not going to be able to charge up that EMP against this composition. Goldfish also swapping to the Soldier. I don't like that as much, but we'll see how that one works out for them. But they're going to have a lot more shield damage now. A lot more burst for whenever the shield manages to go down. But look at that, Schnark losing his mech. That means no more D-Matrix and more time off the clock. Already the time makes are basically equalized. And this payload is just stuck in a state of equilibrium right here, halfway down into the car wash.
So I think something really important that the Falcons need to do is Goldfish or Zoom, I think Goldfish preferably, needs to play Hanzo. If you boost the Hanzo Storm Arrow with the Mercy, his Storm Arrow can essentially 100% eliminate an Orisa shield. And so if you do that in tandem with a Junkrat spam in that tight corridor, that could be exactly what you need to wipe out the team. But we see Stivek manage to get his ultimate in the nick of time, eliminate one, and Zoom is capitalizing off of this chaos, picking up 2. And this is exactly what I said. It was cheesy. It might have been a little cute strat, but it's not a solid foundation to hold on. And with little chance of the respawns getting there in time, I think the Falcons are going to win Gibraltar and take a 1-0 series lead here in the finals.
Michael is able to stall the payload, but he dies before he really gets there. And yes, the Falcons are going to take the first map on Gibraltar here. And I gotta say, really, it's just Okiru again. You know, you mentioned Stivek barely able to build up that Primal Rage. Well, part of the reason he's able to do that is he gets that boosted damage from the Nano Boost that Okiru was able to build so quickly there. Now we're going to see a play the game from Goldfish of the Falcons. And for those of you Plat chatters, no, this is not another Dragon Blade. This is just him slashing and dashing. It is all skill here. And look at Okiru. Look, we've been talking about this guy for a reason. 35 offensive assists, 44% kill participation. That is absolutely ridiculous coming out from an Ana player.
That just means he's landing a lot of purple grenades. He's causing that anti-healing to be an absolute menace for the Green Knights to deal with. And right now, he looks like he's the player of the game for us and is on a good trajectory to be player of the series if he keeps this up. You need to appreciate your supports, guys. If you're playing CompQ, give your supports a hug. Give them a kiss on the cheek. Tell them you love them. Send them some flowers because they are the backbone of your team's success.
Did you just say love? I gotta be honest, man. Your good friend Jonah has a problem with that word. I'm not.
Don't worry. He gave me the pass. He gave me his little card that said you're allowed to say this, and I said thank you, buddy. Love you. And then he just wiggled off like a penguin.
You heard it here first, guys. Penguins do exist. They aren't a figment of your imagination. They
coach.
Something made up by Hollywood. They are real.
They are real, and they coach Overwatch teams.
Yes. Yeah, that's actually true. Penguins are the best Overwatch coaches. Everybody talks about Penguin Overwatch coaches. Just the other day, somebody was telling me about their Penguin Overwatch coach. They were just telling me, you know, Sam, you know, Cool J, Penguin Overwatch coaches really they're just.
I mean, think about Penguins are always grouped together. And what's the most important thing when you're playing GOATs? Staying grouped together. So who better to teach you that than a penguin whose entire life is just being up with the rest of the penguins in the cold Antarctic and surviving together, you know? They are the epitome of what GOATs needs. They are the epitome of what GOATs stands for. And I think every team needs a penguin as at least an assistant coach, at least.
Yeah, I definitely think it's something that's going to be standard starting next year in Overwatch League. The penguin coaches.
Jeez, cut the leaks, dude. What do you
all across, you know, I can leak because it's okay. I'm a little no. But we are coming out here. The triple. Wow, I've never seen such heavily competing. This is a standard GOAT section, and they are running Doomfist triple DPS. I'm very interested to see how this works. Actually, it looks like the Falcons are expecting it. They're running the McCree Ana goats instead of the typical Zen goats that we see here normally. The Green Knights. Oh, Glacier's 1 HP! Oh my goodness, they already found a kill. And Michael's gonna get right-clicked, but he's able to flash away. See, kids, that's why you shouldn't right-click. You won't be able to finish the kills. Anyway, Memory and SpongeBob both falling. And look at that Monk going down as well. Yes, they lose Glacier on that Ana, but it doesn't even matter. They're able to out-sustain on this GOAT's composition. And it's so good on this section because of the close quarters combat.
So we need to take note that Okiru is swapped over from the Ana to...
Well,
we'll have to see if he can carry this throughout for this matchup on Oasis.
Yeah, he did swap over to the Lucio, as you mentioned. Not sure why we lost you there for a little second. G and Michael on this Zenyatta looking for some damage. They're just looking to pressure stomach, but Goldfish! Look! McCree, DPS do matter. Thank you for showing everybody. He finds 2 kills here in the Goats v Goats mirror. He's proving that DPS are king as they're able to take yet another fight, building up towards 35% on this point now.
That was so well done by the side of the Falcons. They're piggybacking off of Goldfish's McCree, and he's doing absolute wonders for them right now. Look at that, another kill down on the Jan Michael. This McCree by Goldfish is exactly what they need to be playing around. The reason you run this McCree in the GOAT's composition is because you expect him to create picks, to tag up that double stun alongside Zoom's Brig, and just make sure that he can zone with this ultimate like he's doing right now. Look at the pressure he's applying without even killing anybody. And as I say that, actually, he eliminates Memory's Diva Mech, and then Okiru finishes that up with a nice little tap, tap, tap from Lucio.
In addition to getting rid of the mech, he also got rid of both Brigitte and the Reinhardt shield in one fell swoop. And because of that, look, they didn't lose control of the point, and they're already up to 75%. We are almost in one-fight territory for the Green Knights here before they'll be fighting in open.
And as you say that, we need to look at the ultimate economy. Both teams have their Graviton Surge. Down. Discipline coming out, so well done, but he's dropped SpongeBob's left click, and that's not what you want to see from your Lucio while he's holding on the beat, and the reload is coming in from Glacier, meaning he will not be able to sustain this healing. And while they finally do get to take back the point, the Green Knights have an incredible task ahead of them, having to 100-0 this point to secure a round 1 win on Oasis.
Yeah, but you see right there the disadvantage of running McCree instead of running the Diva is that SpongeBob is able to grab for free, and they're able to win the fight off of just the grab and the shatter. They're able to save most of the rest of their ults. Monk did use a rally late. Oh, both Trans and Soundbarrier used at the same time thanks to a fat anti-name coming out of Fisher. Goldfish trying to Deadeye, but it's not high noon, it's actually midnight. SpongeBob gonna put him to sleep and take down the kill right there. Oh, but the Nano Stevic with 4 right there off the back of Glacier's Nano Boost this time. The Falcons just showing us that anybody can play an auto really well for them, and I think that's gonna be the first section going to them on Oasis.
Yep, exactly that. While we did see the Green Knights take the point back eventually, it was the Falcons who had the ultimate economy ready to go. And that purple coming in from the Falcons, I believe it's Glacier.
Yeah.
Glacier, that purple forced the beat to come out. And when the double support ultimates come out, traditionally that's absolutely taboo. You do not want to do. But there it felt necessary because no healing was coming in to the from the Transcendence onto everyone in the grab. So you had to have the beat used to keep them alive. But without your support ultimates available anymore, and with the Nano Boost coming in from the side of the Falcons, it was just absolute mayhem. And unfortunately, the Falcons were able to capitalize on that and destroy the Green Knights.
Yeah, but now we are coming right into the not into the Falcons, into the Green Knights wheelhouse. This is the triple DPS staple. This is where everybody runs it. We are seeing both sides. Well, actually, we're seeing a traditional dive comp out of the Falcons. Snark's going to be staying on that Diva. Hopefully, he can deal with Memory and this Pharmacy. Oh, Memory goes down low, but Snark gets too aggressive. He's going to get popped out of the mech and taken down. And that is disastrous for the Falcons now, as they are stuck in here. They're fully engaged. Memory does go down to Zoom, but he's already found 2 kills of his own. Stivic gets hacked up. A great play by G and Michael to take him down right there. Goldfish gonna get res, but it doesn't even matter. And that should be it. The Falcons just all over but the crying in this fight. They're gonna go down.
And that was just so well done by the triple DPS composition coming in from the Green Knights. You just touched on this, that this seems like their bread and butter composition. And you can see why. Memory on this Pharah is such a strong hero pick for him. He's able to cause so much mayhem, he's able to cause so much chaos for the Falcons and eliminate targets from such a safe distance, and keeping that Mercy pocket on him amplifies his rocket damage, prevents hot shots and random damage bullets hitting him to really affect him with the healing coming in. And ultimately it's just too difficult in that fight for the Falcons to answer back. Hopefully they can come back with something a little spicier this time, as they do have Fish on that soldier, and exactly that.
SpongeBob able to take down Zoom early, and after he fell off the map last time, that's now 2 fights in a row where he's the first to die. And an early res is used onto him. Monk actually goes down, so there's no longer a Mercy on the side of the Green Knights, and Goldfish putting out so much damage now where Memory isn't able to do much. They do have the Barrage, they do have the EMP, but do they have enough sustain? It looks like they don't. People are continuing to fall on the side of the Green Knights, and now they're just trying to stall this out, get as much time, as much percentage built up as they can. Spaghetti falls. Dunless the only one left on the point. He's going to fall as well, but look at that. Such a strong hold, and it's still going. G and Michael now going to be stalling from inside this center column here. Oh, He's going for it, but he gets hacked up by Zoom. He stayed alive for so long, though. Look at how much percentage they built up. They built up 73% before finally the flip comes through. SpongeBob does die very late there, but still a fantastic first hold. Diva Bomb coming out very early, not able to find any kills. I'm not really sure what he was doing with that one.
Definitely a shot in the dark, to say the least, right there from Snark. Could have held on to that, been a little chaotic fight going on, but you know, can't really think about the past. You gotta think about the future. You gotta think about forward thinking. You have to make sure you're always ready to bring forward your next ability, your next play. A hack comes in on Okiru, and a beautifully timed EMP barrage combo comes in, eliminating 2 members, finishing up Snark on that Diva. Dunless slams down and poops on Sebek, and just like that, we see the fight swing back in the favor of the Green Knights, and now we are in single fight territory almost. If the Green Knights are able to hold strong and win the next fight, they should walk out and come up to a game 3 here on Oasis. They just have to hold strong for one more fight.
And that last engage could not have gone more perfectly. I was actually watching Okiru's POV, and I watched him get hacked, and the EMP barrage come out. Memory with that early pick on a Glacier, but they not advance something to say about a Goldfish comes out with a visor, and suddenly 3 kills have returned in favor of Bacon 4, and it's all over the place for the Falcons. The early pick in favor of the Green Knights, but it doesn't matter. Somehow, some way, they're able to turn that back. They did use both the Primal Rage and the visor, but that's not very much to use to turn a 5v6 into a 1 fight.
No, and we need, like I've said earlier, ultimate economy, ultimate usage, so important. While the side of the Falcons did lose Glacier early on, they were able to capitalize through Goldfish visor. But speaking of ultimates, Dunless on this Hammond has, I don't think he's used his hamster balls once yet. I don't think he's been playing any Minesweeper yet today. Snark taking out Memory, and this is just not looking good right now for the Green Knights. Kill, and the Green Knights, they are getting way too over aggressive right now. They're getting way too over eager, and they need to just drop off the point. Okiru with definitely an interesting beat usage there, to say the least, and we're now at 83%.
And Gene Michael goes down. Yeah, Gene Michael goes down late. It was an interesting beat usage, but the thing is, they have the EMP built up. They have the Diva Bomb. They have the Moth. It's going to be so hard to push into this, especially with overtime about to start ticking for the Falcons.
Oh, and as you said, Memory uses that barrage. We have a Diva. He also, Snark picks up 2 though. That's an absolutely massive Diva. Devek takes out Monk, and this is not looking good for the Green Knights. It looks like they're green with puke. It looks like they're going to be sick because they just threw an absolutely massive lead. And finally, Dunless drops the mines and doesn't get any usage out of it. And I can't believe it right now. But the Falcons, they managed to win out on Oasis when all looked lost for them on City Center. And they have a 2-0 series lead right now going into map number 3.
You know, and honestly, it was kind of the same thing as what we saw on Gibraltar. There's just sometimes with the Falcons where you just have to sit back and it's just, how have they done this? You're not supposed to be able to make plays like this, but somehow they make it work. They turn it back. They're able to win these fights where it looks like they should have no chance in this great earth of finding a victory, and somehow they do, and they're going to take a 2-0 series lead as we head towards our 3rd map in this series.
I think we need to touch on the team play, because everyone knows Overwatch is a team game. That's what it's built upon. That's how the heroes are played. And we're seeing it played so much better by the Falcons than we are the Green Knights. You can see it in the EMP combos they use. You can see it in their nano usage. You can see it in every bit of their gameplay. They're just playing more as a unit and as a team. And I think that's one of the key reasons why they won out there. You touched on earlier the stagger kill going on the Jan Michael late in that fight when it was near 82%, I believe, on the side of the Falcons. And those staggers come in when there's miscommunications between the team, when they're not being a cohesive unit, when they're not prepared to enter the fight as a whole, and there's some lost communication there, I guess. And Jan Michael, he either overstayed his welcome or he just didn't back fast enough with his team. And things like that, that can lose you games, and that can lose you so many fights. And you saw it right there. The Falcons capitalize on that so beautifully, and they move on with a 2-0 series lead here going into Volskaya.
Yeah, I also have to mention Zoom. You know, earlier on that section, he was getting bodied by Memory on this Pharah pick, or was it Sponge? I think it was Memory. Memory on this Pharah was just completely showing Zoom exactly how to play this game. Zoom had no clue what was going on. And you know what? They didn't keep trying to push it. They said, you know what? We're going to go at this a different way. Zoom goes over to the Sombra. They're able to hack Memory down and just completely keep him out of the fight for, I think it was 2 or 3 fights in a row. Memory really just couldn't do anything. And another thing, you know, we mentioned Gianmichael on the Doomfist getting staggered, but also I wonder why they swapped to the Doomfist in the first place. It looked like they were doing well with the Sombra pick, but after they had lost the point, they swapped to the Doomfist, and I'm just not sure why.
You're right. I agree with that. Maybe it was comfort. Maybe they felt a sense of desperation, like they had to get back to the point, but they had plenty of time available to them if they just regrouped and pushed in as a unit. And that's another thing, you know, in team play, in coordination comes the ability to read these situations. And when you have someone that can look at the clock, look at the timer, and say, we have enough to go back in for one more fight, we have the ability to regroup and push. And maybe that's something that's lacking with the Green Knights. I'm not sure, but we'll have to see if they can put it together because they're looking like they're going to get 3-0'd by the Falcons. And we mentioned earlier, they've been here before against the Falcons. They faced them in the regular season, losing to them 3-2, and then in the playoffs, losing to them 3-0. And earlier we wanted to know which matchup we'd get, the 3-2 or the 3-0. And I think we're getting our answer so far here. Cool.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the reverse sweep life is always a possibility. We're going to Volskaya Industries, another place that falls right into the Green Knights wheelhouse. 3 DPS is strong here, as well as the bunker compositions. It just seems like the Green Knights aren't able to play GOATs quite as well as the Falcons. The coaching, the team play, as you mentioned, is just stronger for the Falcons at this point in time. And so I guess we'll have to see what comes down of it. But right now, I really just want to talk about the dancing robot.
Honestly, how can you not want to talk about it? All these sweet new dancing emotes that came out with the Overwatch anniversary event, all these sweet skins. Like I see Schnark using that new Diva skin, looking real fancy, looking real pretty. You know, the cosmetics are looking nice. Can't say the same about the maps that have been coming out recently though. Ooh.
I gotta be honest, the Milk Tea May skin is literally one of my favorite things of all time.
That's
like
it's amazing how that little touch adds so much to the skin. Just seeing the little boba tea bubbles in the gun itself. Oh, it's so nice. I'm such a big fan of it.
I mean, honestly, like, I think I'm definitely going to be buying that skin if I don't manage to get it in a loot box, which is basically I'm going to be buying that skin. But
well, the strat is you don't buy the skin until the last day of the event.
Yeah, that is the strat.
You just hold out to the very end, and I'd love to see Blizzard's end how many. If they have it, I'd love to see how many purchase skins they have on the last like 2 days of the event compared to the rest of the event. It's probably like the first day, the middle caves in, and then the last day spikes up again.
I've just been stockpiling way too much gold though. I have like
I've been there, man.
But the Green Knights, it looks like they're going to be scouting out. They started off with a GOATS composition, but they've scouted out that they see this bunker composition coming up for the Falcons, so they're going to go for that EMP Nanoblade. We've talked about it earlier. They're staying on... No. Ryan going to go ahead and swap to the Winston, but they are going to stay on the Brig. They're going to... Okay, I'm going to stop talking now.
It looks like they're just playing a little hokey pokey. They're going to finally settle on 2-2-2 setup. Definitely a good setup, you know, having the Monkey Diva dive to DM that Bastion damage away and eliminate that threat for a few seconds is important. I'd also like to see if they could play a ball to come out. Ultimately, they don't go with that. Ooh, getting very risky there is Memory. And this is just such a prolonged neutral phase. And as I say that, though, the Caster Curse comes in. The DM is not able to prevent the losses. Dunless and Spaghetti both drop right now from the side of the Green Knights. And Monk manages to pick up a late kill on the Glacier. That's not something you can res. But Schnark gets a beautiful hook at the end of that play with Goldfish finishing it off. And now it looks like the rest of the Green Knights, they just have to try and count their losses, get back together, group up, and go for counterattack number 2.
But are you seeing this? Gianmichael and SpongeBob in position here. They're trying to spawn camp Glacier, but they can't spot him out. They can't find him. Gianmichael has seen him, but I'm not sure if they're going to be able to confirm this kill. They are. The Mercy down. He can't play the game. I feel so bad for Glacier, but look, Now Memory has farmed up his blade, Monk is close to the Nano, and SpongeBob is also close to the EMP, and Glacier isn't even going to be in the fight.
We need to get that EMP online from SpongeBob. That's a fight. That EMP is so crucial dealing with this, but they're not going to wait for it. They're just going to go hit himself.
Yeah, they're coming right
there,
in.
falling off, and then Dunless jumps in to cause some mayhem too. Memory picks off Goldfish, the most important member of this bunker composition, and with SpongeBob tacking on the kill of his own, this looks like it's just going to be the Falcons falling down to the offensive push and the big brain strats of the Green Knights.
Yeah, I mean, it almost, for a while, it looked like Memory was going to push with them as well to ensure the spawn camp would be successful. Luckily, they thought better of it. He was able to farm up the blade while they were spawn camping Glacier. And it seems like they haven't really been bothered, though. Glacier almost has ball, but the EMP comes in. It finds 3. It gets rid of the supercharger. But guess what? That immortality field didn't get hacked, but it doesn't matter. Memory finding kills. Dunless taking out so much here. Goldfish is able to take down Memory, but he isn't going to find much else. Spaghetti going to get popped out of the mech, and we are still going. Goldfish
that hack!
going to get taken down. Yes, the hacks going out all over the place. Glacier completely denied as the Moth Mercy here, and SpongeBob telling everybody that it is the best day ever here for the Green Knights on Volskaya Industries.
But we might see a counterattack coming in from the Falcons. They managed to get 3 members on the point, though. This could spell mayhem for the Green Knights, and they're going to get a Diva Bomb used at the last second by Spaghetti, and Stavek falls for that, unfortunately, but we have 2 supports on the point, and SpongeBob builds up another EMP during the fight, but that's it. The Falcons held. I can't believe it. The Falcons managed to hold that point.
Yeah, you might have said it spelled mayhem, but I would say it spelled justice. Glacier able to avenge his spawn camping fate, coming out on the Moira, able to take down SpongeBob and basically ruin his EMP because Moira is Moira. And they do have the Nano Blade up, but SpongeBob forced to swap off of the Sombra pick after effectively wasting the EMP and seeing now that their composition... Oh, but look! The Widow headshot! Memory with the blade, he's coming in, he's already found 1, he's looking for more, there's 2, he wants more blood! Can he find it? Goldfish is so low on the Stupidus, he's gonna go down as well, and I think that's gonna be it. The cap gonna come in for the Green Knight. It was a bit delayed. Oh, 99.3% going to stall it out now. Are they gonna be able to get the kills though?
Monk's so incredibly low on the point. He's dancing with the devil right now, doing fantastic tango to stay alive. Glacier tries to finish it off. Goldfish can't get in there either. And oh man, the Green Knights do a fantastic job at retaking that point and finishing it off strong with a lot of time left in their time bank.
Yeah,
3 minutes and 30 seconds.
You still just have to look at the amazing team play, the amazing coordination from the Falcons that easily could have been almost 5 minutes in that time bank. Able to take down so much time, and that's really going to give them advantage as they look to attack.
And we talked about how we wanted to see more team coordination coming in from Green Knight, and we saw it just there. They did such a good job as working together as a unit, playing off each other's ultimates. That Dragon Blade was so incredibly clutch, and he was kept alive by the Transcendence usage. We saw 2 EMPs being used in the same fight. It was just such a well-done push by the Green Knights. Excuse me, not the Green Falcons, the Green Knights. And it could have been better. They could have finished it off earlier on, but unfortunately they didn't, and they'll have to just settle with 3.5 minutes in their time bank.
Imagine a Green Falcon though.
That'd be cool.
Like, what,
would it be like the whole Falcon green?
Wait, would it be glowing, or would it be like a Hulk type green?
Yeah, is it like a neon green, like one of those things you see?
I feel like it would be more of a Hulk type green. Like, I think it would just be like deep, muted, ferocious type thing.
I think so. I think it would be too. I agree with that. I don't think a Falcon would have any business being neon green, but if it had that intimidating, darker greenish look to him, ooh, I could see that being definitely something you want to watch out for.
So we're seeing a very interesting comp coming out here. SpongeBob on the Ash alongside of this bunker and a Brigitte as well. He's going to get dived early, but the Ashe is so strong against dive, especially with Monk pocketing him on this Mercy. He's going to be able to put out so much damage. If he can hit a grenade, it will be devastating. But the hack comes out from Zoom, but Memory is ready for it. He gets the bash, he gets the push away. They're not going to be able to dive onto SpongeBob while he's vulnerable, but Monk is purpled. He's going to go down. Okiru pays for it with his life, though, and they might be able to get some percentage on the point out of that kill.
Oh man, but unfortunately Stavek does fall, and the rest of the lineup has to count their losses. Glacier does get the res off, but has to pay with it with his life. Goldfish gets hooked in. The DM is so beautifully timed from Snark, though, to keep his poor little Goldfish alive. Unfortunately, that little fella cannot get out with his life at the end of the day, though. He will get sent back to spawn. And while the initial push did look strong, that backline rushing Okiru Ana was not what they needed to get the job done.
Yeah, he showed up very strongly on the first map, but on Oasis, he didn't have a strong performance on Lucio, and now beating on Ana like this, I don't know, he may be losing his chance at the MVP of this match. Meanwhile, Chi and Michael still performing as strong as ever on a variety of roles. We've seen him play literally everything here today, and he's been stellar on all of it. His team, though, still struggling to find the win. SpongeBob just barely able to survive that dive. Bob is going to go into this health pack room. He's nice to stay here. He can put out so much damage. The EMP catches 6!
But does the blade get to counteract it? Does that get to do anything from it? John Mike picks up a second kill, picks up a third kill. Dragon Blade is just running wild in the back line right now. Fourth, he gets a fifth. Never mind, Snark gets that fifth kill. But you know what? The thought is still there, okay? Goldfish did basically get 5, okay? Quote me on it.
But that was just disgusting. Basically. I mean, Zoom getting a 6-man EMP. They go right in while SpongeBob's Bob is still out. They don't even care. Oh, I get why he was playing that.
Is that his bobble buddy?
The bobble buddy. Well, SpongeBob is going to be on the McCree now. No more Bob antics. You don't have to deal with our bad puns for a short while longer. Goldfish, though, on the back of another nade from Okiru, able to take down Spaghetti. Glacier, though, falling in response to kills going back and forth yet again. And on this point, the kills back and forth are going to favor the Green Knights.
Yes, the Green Knights do win out this fight, and it's so important for the defense to hold strong on the first attack of the second point of any 2CP map. That's usually when the attacking team has a very strong chance of pushing through. They have the momentum, they have ultimate Akami in their favor, but unfortunately for the Falcons, it did not work out for them. Now we're going to see some swaps coming in, going for what looks like a goats composition, maybe the somber goats, you know, pulling out some element mystic kind of tactics here. Zoom has the ability to cause a lot of mayhem with that EMP, and if they can capitalize off of it and charge up their graviton incredibly quickly or their shatter, it could just snowball from there and prevent any kind of stall from the Green Knights.
Yeah, I think they're going to look here to Nano Snark and try and get him as much grab charge as he can. Zoom, of course, can use the— oh! Memory! He knows where Zoom is. He spots him out in the invis on the right side. That was such a huge play, honestly. I'm not even sure if you were looking at it, but Zoom was— Memory just has his number. Memory knows exactly where he's coming from. Zoom trying to take an angle through the back now, but who knows if his EMP is going to be as good. There's so much looking for him now. And the Supercharger does come down. Here's the Deadeye. They're forced to back off. The EMP, though, he might have an opening now as they've started to relax their guard, and there we go! 5 found, but he's going to go down. Snark with the Nano, as I predicted. He's already 50% up to that Graviton, but SpongeBob finding kills in the backline. Okiru gonna go down. The kills are going back and forth, over and over again, but the Green Knights are somehow finding the advantage. They're finding the kills that they need, and they're gonna win this fight.
In that fight, Dunless dropped so incredibly low. I believe he dropped 100 HP, but instead of getting finished off, he got booped away by Glacier. Nobody finished off the kill. He was able to regain his HP by, I guess, using the vape, and then once he came back in, he had the whole hog good to go, and with the rally up, there was no chance for the Falcons to retake there. The Falcons had a strong opening fight, but they couldn't sustain it. They couldn't continue the onslaught, and they couldn't snowball it. And so we're here again. They're below the time bank that the Green Knights have to offer. SpongeBob gets a nice pick to delay the push, and the rest of the Green Knights are going to just push forward with the advantage that they created for themselves off of the back of that beautiful SpongeBob play.
I'll tell you what that's really going to do. It's going to allow them to try and equalize the ult economy here. The disadvantage that the Green Knights were at was because they swapped to Ghost later. They had worse ult economy. The Falcons theoretically had an advantage, but because the Green Knights, because SpongeBob able to find that kill on the Zoom, they're able to equalize and actually turn the ult economy somewhat in their favor after that fight.
And so we're going to have to see here during the neutral phase who is going low. There is a plethora of ultimates available for the Falcons. They have the Graviton, Diva Bomb, they have the Beat, they have the Shatter, but there's only one ultimate that matters, and that's the EMP. If that EMP is big, that EMP can eliminate any ultimate advantage that was created. And SpongeBob going and creates that advantage, gets a massive EMP, and just like that, the pieces of the Falcon fall one after another, and they are going to be forced back to spawn, again, delaying their push on the offense. And they have a minute 45 left to go, Cool J. That is nothing compared to what we're seeing from the side of the Green Knights.
And you know what the Green Knights are saying right here? Are you not entertained? We were talking about it before this map. It looked like they were just going to go down quietly, a close 3-0, as they might say. But no, they came here to fight. They're looking poised to take a map back and start their path on the way to a reverse sweep.
And it looks very promising right now. Stavek is moving in. He has a Discord. The Beat to secure some free swaps back and forth, but nobody falls. And we see a massive shatter drop of the Transcendence. Beautiful, and the counter shatters bigger. The Diva Bombs drop, and we're going to see two members roll back to Goldfish. And the Stavek is going to swing left and right. John Michael's trying to play point Zenyatta, but that's just going to lead to his downfall. And SpongeBob, he may be able to touch, but he gets forced away. This is exactly what the Falcons needed. They just need a chance. All they need is one small chance, and they can get themselves back in it.
Okay, but look, SpongeBob almost has him. He charges up. He finds 3. Can they get the follow-up, though? His teammates aren't here on the point with him. So many people were EP'd. They're able to get Sevek. They're able to get Ogiru. Goldfish pops out of the back. They're going to turn this fight back. Oh, but Monk uses the style barrier. There could be an opening, but there's no ultimates on the side of the Falcons.
I don't even know if the Falcons can touch. They have 20 seconds left. We're going to see a very early hold coming out from the Green Knights, and this is exactly what they should do. They need to pressure the Falcons early on, force them to think that the clock is ticking down faster than it actually is. And we're going to finally see these two teams clash. It's overtime point now, baby. It's do or die. Goldfish opens up the fight.
Michael onto the Batiste. He's going to use that immortality field. He knows he won't be able to build up a Transcendence during this fight. OIB Memory able to go to the back line and take down Okiro before the fight even starts. Goldfish out of the back, and it looks like it might be over before they even had a chance. The Falcons falling apart now at the last hour. Civic going down. Monk going to fall in the sound barrier from Glacier, but the EMP is perfectly timed. Oh my goodness. I can't handle this play right now. The
Zoom is trying to zoom around the point. He has no chance left now. He misses that shield bash, but Goldfish and Glacier take out Dunless. And while this may have looked promising initially for the side of the Falcons, they are not able to capitalize on anything. Goldfish gets denied his mech from John Michael's fist, and now Lib drops this mine. Sevek gets a nice shatter down, but it's just delaying the inevitable. The spawns are in the favor of the Green Knights. They're going to hold this defense, and we have a series on our hands, Cool J.
Yeah, Green Knights reverse sweep when? Well, they're starting it right now, and they made a real statement there. They put up a strong time on their attack and showing an amazing defensive run there on point 2, turning it back from what we both thought was a surely lost fight there. They're able to come in, get the re-engage, find the kills on the point, and just turn it around. I don't know how many other ways I could say it. It was really impressive there. 2-1 now as we head in towards our 4th map, which is of course going to be taking a trip to the futuristic city of Numbani.
Man, I haven't seen Numbani in a fortnight, I'll tell you that much. No, it's back in the game now, but it was gone.
We don't talk about Fortnite here.
Ooh, it was gone for a while though. Numbani was missing from that CompQ playlist, but it's back and bigger than ever. We also have ourselves a series on our hands, ladies and gentlemen. We have a 2-1 advantage in the favor of the Falcons, but the Green Knights have the momentum on their side. And so we're going to be loading in to our next map very shortly. So please if you want to see some high quality Overwatch, if you want to see two high schools go neck and neck, back and forth to take the crown of being number one in the nation in the EGF National League, then you're just going to have to stick right here and enjoy some more beautiful Overwatch with myself and Cool J.
Yeah, and speaking of that, we're already getting back into the maps. These teams, they want to keep it going. It's no more break times. They want to keep this momentum going. They want to end, well, on the side of the Falcons, they want to end this. They want to get this convincing win. They want to show Volskaya was a fluke. 3-1 victory. They'll take it just so they can have the bragging rights for the year that they are the best high school Overwatch team in the nation. Meanwhile, on the other side of things, the Green Knights hanging by a thread, it seemed, but no, that thread has grown into a rope, which is, I don't know, what's better than that? Steel cables, maybe? They are really pulling themselves back up the mountain here, and they've still got a ways to go, but they've gotten a great start.
And I think we should highlight, too, for all our Falcons fans watching us, that 2CP traditionally is a map where you see teams that are the weaker team have a chance to come back. They have a chance to win out. In Overwatch League and Contenders, you'll see it a lot. When there's a series that ends up 3-1 in favor of one team, that one map typically will be 2CP. So it may be a downtime for the Falcons fans, but you are not out. You still have a chance to come out with a 3-1 series win right here. But the momentum is on the side of the Green Knights. You know, they just came out with not only a win on 2CP, a dominating win on 2CP. And they have that momentum. They have that fire. They have that fury. You might say they have that fire and ice in them. And so they just need to keep that cool blood while keeping that hot head, and they'll be good to go.
Yeah, and we'll be seeing how this goes. If we're actually seeing a Bastion, Torbjorn, Batiste, bunker combination. I don't think I've ever seen anything so awful in my life. It looks like the Green Knights are actually expecting this. They're already on this EMP Nanoblade combination. Memory already 25% up to his blade, which is probably the hardest one to build out of all of these. Against this composition, oh my god! Monk not going to be getting that nano anytime soon as Snark hits an amazing hook there from the high ground. Going to take him down in one fell swoop. It looks like they're going to go in, they're going to dive on, they're going to take it on Zoom's turret, but the Immortality Field is going to keep everyone nice and healthy. All they really get is ult charge there. SpongeBob getting about halfway to the EMP, Memory also about halfway to the blade, but not much in terms of value found there.
So that Immortality Field right there kept the entire team alive, and that's something that we need to focus on when they're diving in. With the Bastion raining hell on you, I guess I'd say, it's very difficult for you to focus on the Immortality Field, this tiny little thing floating in the air. But that's why you have a D.Va with you. You need to coordinate that dive, have the D.Va focus on DMing the Bastion while you eliminate that lamp, I guess I could say. It's basically a lamp, the Immortality lamp, and then you get the ability to focus the Bastion afterwards. It's an incredibly difficult composition to break, and so without the ultimates available, which fortunately for them they have at their disposal very shortly, it's going to require a lot of team coordination. In this situation, though, it's just hit Q and hit Q right after your buddy hits Q.
Yeah, guess what? They have all of those ultimates we've been talking about ready and raring to go. All they need is the engage. And here it comes. The EMP, the blade, everything. And they caught everybody they needed to. Okiru actually didn't get hacked, but it doesn't matter. The Immortality Field not quite doing the work that they needed it to. Snark going to survive so long here, but not long enough. He's going to get taken down, and that's going to be the first point gap. It took a while. You see why they played these bunker comps. More than 2 minutes taken off the clock for a composition that really doesn't take much effort to play.
Yeah, and that's basically the name of the game with bunker comps. You don't try and beat your opponents by